All right, guys, we're going to talk about window tint. I'm going to tell you if the ceramic is worth the price or you should go for regular dyed or carbon film. All right, guys, keep watching and we'll get started. All right, guys, it is about 88 degrees outside. So what I'm gonna see if the ceramic is worth the extra price. You guys have remembered this BMW if you watched my previous window tint video. The only thing I've done is added the ceramic on the front windshield. However, the side windows are still the carbon series. I believe it's the 3M Color Stable, which is like, I think it's a carbon film. Here, 3M had a new film for my new X5. It was the 3M IR ceramic series. So I'm gonna check temperature. I got, let's see, it's at 77. And we're gonna back both cars out in the sunlight. And we're gonna check and see how long it takes for them to heat up. This one here, 76. Back window, 76. All right, let's get started. Okay, so you see both cars. They're both out in the sunlight right now. I'm not sure if this is a complete accurate way, but this one form of way I can measure the interior temperature of the window tint. So let's see if I can get a one. 79, like I said, it's been sitting here. And this may not be, I may have to do interior temperature. Let's see if I can just hit the driver's seat here. 80. 88. And driver's seat, 79. So both cars were garaged, and we'll see. All right, guys, so this is 3M, and this is your ceramic IR series. It's in 15% all around, so even the back window that comes with the factory 20% from the manufacturer, I had them apply film over top of that. You can see the difference. You can look straight through, and we can see the car on the other side. However, going to the back, it makes it a little bit more difficult. It almost gives it more of a limo tint appearance, but I can still see out at night. Doesn't give me any difficulties looking back out. If I didn't have the backup camera, I would still be okay with backing out of a driveway. And you can see the different angles. Obviously the sunshade, the sunroof shade is closed, but we can look through and we can see the dashboard. And then if we back out, I actually wasn't sure what the 15% would be too dark. I was worried that it was going to appear, I wasn't sure what to expect. But you can see it really gives it a good appearance between the two different films, between 20%. I think it perfectly bridges the gap between going too dark and too light. 20% was my favorite, but 15% I think is going to be a new favorite. We can still see a decent amount of, through here. Obviously the back window is nothing, you're just looking at the reflection because it is almost opaque. If you are stopped, or say for example, an officer is driving towards you, this is the view he's going to see. He's not going to really see coming through. I do have the ceramic 70% on the windshield. So like I said, if this is like car level, this is kind of like what they're going to see as they pass by from this view. So this view, it looks dark. I mean, even the front window looks dark. Now, coming through on the back side, we can see, I can see through the windshield because of the light that's coming through the windshield. I can see a little bit through here too. Not much, but it is there. So perfectly, I think this is almost near perfect the way I wanted it to be. Now the M3 has 20% 3M color stable. I covered this in a different video. It does have a power burst shade. If you guys want to check that out, be sure to check that out. I'll link it in the description. And the interior color is lighter. Therefore, the tint appears lighter in color because the seats aren't black. If the seats were black, you wouldn't be able to see the shadow of the seats on camera. But coming around, and it depends on the lighting, depends on the angle, but I can look all the way through the other side, but I could not really identify. Like I said, I noticed a person back there, couldn't really see exactly what's going on. Front seat is a little different story. You can see directly into the front seats. I know that there was someone sitting there. Whether they're picking their nose or not, couldn't tell you. You know, it's be one of those things. So you still had that privacy there, especially from a distance. And let's see, from a car level appearance, it'd be more like this. And this is what I'm kind of looking at. So if I'm driving towards someone, this is what I would think will look like. And like I said, it still looks dark. Still looks dark. This is a 2019 Mercedes C63. The only thing I did with this one, I did 15% 3M ceramic IR series on this. Has black interior, and you can see how it looks with the black interior. It makes it really hard to see inside, especially from a distance of the cars driving around. You know, if you just happen to pass by it, you know, you're not gonna really quick identify like the driver or anything unless you come up to the front windshield. And through the windshield, you see it's completely clear. You can see through the car. You can, even coming through here, you should be able to see in. There we go. And you can see in. You know, you can see there obviously at least some privacy. The 15%, I was worried about going too dark if it was going to be an issue. Fortunately, with this, it actually turned out to be great. I don't know if you guys can tell, just looking through, you can see through the garage. But it gives it a nice, perfect blend. I would say probably 15% is my new favorite compared to 20. All right, now I covered this car in the last video. This is 20% on all the windows. This is 3M color stable. And you can see how it's been holding up. You can see through the interior. If I can get the glare out of the way, you can see, I don't know if you can tell from this angle. And in addition to that, I recently did the windshield. So now the windshield has the windshield has 70% ceramic because there was way too much heat coming in. And the 70% is probably on the lighter side. You can really tell that there's film there. It kind of gives a small, just a tiny bit of a blue, like a bluish hue if you're looking through the dashboard. But that's it for that car. And like I said, this is windshield, no windshield. Now looking at the X5M, you can see this has red interior, and you can see this is also 15% 3M ceramic IR series. You can see right through the interior. Now it looks lighter because I have the sunshade open. So you guys, if you, or ladies I should say too, because I know women watch this channel too. So by closing that shade, I will be able to actually make it more, get more privacy. So if I park somewhere, I tend to keep that shade closed to make it less easy to target for someone to see. So I'm gonna step back, I'm gonna pan around. Okay, so now you should be able to see a little bit more around it. Apologize, it was a little bit shaky earlier. I forgot to turn on my stabilization. And this is just looking through the other side. And through the M3. So the M3 I covered more in a separate video with the rear sunshade and everything else in here. But you can look and see how you can see into the interior. So bees. And this is 20%. Now, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but I can see the steering column, I can see the steering wheel, I can see the dashboard, I can see the navigation screen sticking up on the dashboard. So it depends on your needs. But if you come over here, looking through, you can see the privacy. If you are on the fence, this is my advice. If you are someone who is picky and you are on the fence of, you know what, I want a tint that's dark enough, but I don't want to go too dark, 20% is going to be a very safe bet. You will not regret 20%. You're not going to be like, oh man, you know what, I wish I went lighter. It's going to appear just that perfect amount of blend between being too dark or too light. You know, you're in a halfway point. 15%, I think, is very marginal. I mean, it's like you're talking about a 5% difference between the two. It's like I said, this car has red interior. It doesn't change very much. Now this car is 35%. 35 is considerably lighter. Now I do have the front sunshade up. I showed that in my other video with it down, but 35% would be for someone who is looking for a very, they don't want the car to be too dark. Like I said, let me take that sunshade out. So looking at it now, you can see your 35%. Now this is also ceramic film. This is Lumar Formula 1. But you can see clearly into the dashboard. It's a little bit more visible, actually a lot visible compared to when you're looking at the 20% or the 15. So if you walk around the car, especially the windshield, nothing's on it. And from this side, it looks a little bit, you know, like I said, I can see right in here. I can walk right in here and look exactly what's in the car. So privacy, things like that, you're gonna see more. If someone waves at you and you wave back at them and you're sitting in that car, they're gonna see you wave back. They're gonna see that. If I give someone a finger back in probably this car, they're not gonna see you give them the finger. They're gonna just think, they're not gonna know. So it all depends. The front windows and the windshield is always gonna appear lighter because of the amount of light that's coming through the windshield. So here I can look directly in here and see exactly what's coming through. You can see the dashboard perfectly here. But again, not as visible. right, it's been about 10 minutes or so. Let's check and see what the temp's like, what it's showing on the glass. 120, 117. Let's come on this side. 125, 117. But let's sit inside the car and see what's coming through the inside, what the heat rejection is. So it's 128 hitting the dashboard, 98, 122. All right, so it says about 120 degrees. It does feel warm in here. This right here, this surface just feels warm. The glass is getting warm. Let's check the M3. Let's see what that is. So 120, 117. Let me see what's picking it up here. 127. 98. So from inside, the glass is 129, almost 130 degrees. So it's about a 5 degrees almost difference between the carbon and the ceramic. So 5 degrees is a difference. Is it worth $100? I'm gonna say yes, because it's not just the amount of heat that you're rejecting. You are rejecting something about the solar energy that's coming through. The heat is just one of the side effects to that you reject. I'll come back out and check here shortly. All right, guys, my conclusion on this between the 3M Color Stable and the 3M IR series. The Color Stable is your step above your basic dyed film. So you're getting a lot of protection even with the Color Stable because it is a carbon, some type of nanocarbon film. And with the ceramic, it just takes it an extra step further. Is it worth the price? I think with my tint shop that I was having applied, it was about $100 more. And I thought I'd try it out. I can tell a difference when I'm driving the ceramic car versus the non-ceramic car when the light is hitting the glass. I feel like my air conditioning doesn't have to work as hard. I feel like when I have the air conditioning on, it cools the car down more. And second off, the glass feels cooler to the touch on the ceramic when you have the AC on, as opposed to if the sun is still heating the glass, I still get that heat radiating from the outside. Now, when the cars are both parked in the sunlight, I can still come back to a hot car, regardless of ceramic or not. The glass is going to be hot on both cars. But if you saw in the video, it took longer for the ceramic to heat up. The carbon film is heating up a little bit faster than the ceramic. And if I had a car to test with just the basic dyed film, it would have been even worse. So I think our numbers we got for the glass, just the glass temperature, and I'm not sure this is completely accurate because my infrared thermometer, it could go through the glass and hit the air as far as I know, but there was a different measurement. With the IR, I got 132 and 135. I don't know if that's completely accurate or not, but the windshields both had the exact same film, which is ceramic film. So they were both the same, which makes sense. On the door panels, that's a big difference. That's a huge difference inside the car. I could feel, it's hard for me to measure, but I can feel physical difference inside the car, even if it's just a few degrees. I think it was about like a 5 to 10 degree difference inside the car, but it really helped. So guys, hope you hit the video, hope it helps you out, hope it helps your decision if you're trying to decide between a ceramic or non-ceramic film. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, it really helps me. All right guys, thanks for watching.